What's going on, everybody? Today we are talking Star Wars Episode 9. And there's a lot of controversy about the title of this movie. If you're living under a rock, the title of Star Wars Episode 9 is The Rise of Skywalker. And today's video, we're going to talk about J.J. Abrams' response to this. The title of this is J.J. Abrams weighs in on the divisive new Star Wars title, I Know It's Provocative. Now, when I heard the title of this movie, I said to myself and to actually YouTube really, I don't know about this title. It doesn't feel like a Star Wars title to me. So when I hear The Rise of Skywalker, I will say this. It is the one title in all of Star Wars that will really have you talking about the title leading up to the movie. Because all of the other movies in the saga, they've been pretty clear cut, you know? Even the spin-offs like Solo and Rogue One. You know what they're about based on the title, but this one, there's a lot of speculation as to what does this mean. And there's a lot of videos out there on YouTube about this. And let's talk about this, and I'll give you kind of my 2 cents on this as well. So, but this is what J.J. Abrams said. He said the title feels like it's the right title for this movie. And I know that it's provocative and asks a bunch of questions. But I think when you see the movie, you'll see how it's intended, what it means. So J.J. Abrams says you're going to have to watch the movie to really figure it out. But that's kind of contradicting what Kathleen Kennedy had to say. She said the title doesn't mean anything really. So, but I'm not surprised. Kathleen Kennedy, she's usually wrong when it comes to Star Wars. So I'm not surprised whatsoever. I don't know how much she actually knows about this movie, but for now, I digress. So he says here, in the flow of the titles, this movie had a very weird responsibility. It had to be the end of not just 3 movies, but 9 movies, and the idea of having to incorporate the stories that have come before strangely is the story of the movie, which is to say, it's the characters in the film inheriting everything that's come before in the previous generations, whether it's the sins of the father, whether it's the wisdom that they've acquired. And the question is this new generation. Are they up to the task? Can they stand up to what they have to? And so in a way, I feel like we coming into this movie have inherited a lot. And the question is, we can do it. And that question we ask ourselves every day. So, The Rise of Skywalker. What do I think this could mean? And I've heard several different claims to what this could mean. For one thing, people are going to look on the surface and say, oh, this confirms that Rey is a Skywalker. She's probably related to Luke or something like that. I'm not buying that whatsoever. I think this title really does confirm that Rey is definitely not a Skywalker. I don't think they're going to give away the movie in the title. I just don't think they're going to do that with this movie. So whether her parents are nobody, I don't know. I doubt they're nobody, but they're definitely not a Skywalker. There could be someone that's actually related to the Skywalkers throughout the trilogy. So maybe she's a Palpatine, maybe she's a Kenobi. But I see the title of this movie in several different ways. Rise of Skywalker could mean that finally Kylo Ren actually rises up to the challenge. And he's going to have to face Palpatine in some kind of way, however they bring him back. That's just my theory on it. Or, as George Lucas has already said before, because they consulted with George Lucas on this movie, that all of the saga movies, they're about the rise and the fall of Anakin Skywalker. So this could actually be meaning it could actually have something to do with Anakin, but I don't really know for sure. Now, I do expect Luke to be somewhat redeemed in this movie. I mean, if he has a cameo, then he definitely won't be redeemed. But I think that also this could actually be some kind of symbolism or something, you know? The Rise of Skywalker. Just think how it rolls off your tongue. So maybe this is like the New Republic or something like that. Maybe it could be the Skywalker Republic after they defeat the First Order. Could be. I don't buy it, but I think this has something to do with the Skywalker family. So you throw Palpatine back into this, and this is what I think is the #1 reason why they entitled this movie the way it is. If you remember in the comic books going back a few months ago, they all but confirmed that Palpatine created Anakin. And I think we're actually going to hear that in this movie. And Anakin is the first Skywalker. And from there you got Luke. And from there you get Kylo Ren, you know, through Leia. And Palpatine is the key since he actually created Anakin. So maybe that's how Palpatine actually comes into play in this movie. So he is the actual father of the Skywalker family. And that makes complete sense, since the prequels always implied that Palpatine pretty much created Anakin. So maybe we're going that route with the Rise of Skywalker. Is going to go into the official birth of the Skywalker family, which entitled Rise of Skywalker. But I think that's the beauty of the title, that you can take so many different angles with this, with the title of this movie. You know, it's not like, you know, Attack of the Clones. That was pretty cut and dry. Also, Revenge of the Sith, very cut and dry. Return of the Jedi, very cut and dry. The Last Jedi, etc. But with this movie, there's just not one interpretation of it. So if they were looking to have people debating about this movie going up to the movie, then they've done a very, very good job of actually doing that, because people are going to be talking about this title all the way up until December when this movie comes out. And maybe we'll get some ideas maybe when they have the first official trailer, because what we saw was just a teaser trailer. So J.J. Abrams, he's saying that the movie is going to pretty much tell you, you know, why they titled the movie the way it is. Kathleen Kennedy says otherwise. So I'll take J.J. Abrams' word on this over Kathleen Kennedy any day of the week, because I don't think Kathleen Kennedy is really in the know when it comes to Star Wars. She just isn't. I mean, the woman's been silent for over a year, hasn't said anything, and now all of a sudden she's giving interviews left and right. But that's several of my conspiracy theories, so to say, on this topic. Rise of Skywalker could be Palpatine, you know, as a father of all Skywalkers. Could be Kylo Ren coming up and overcoming his obstacles finally. It could be Anakin coming back and fully redeeming and everything. But they have to be careful with this movie, because you definitely don't want to take away the redemption of Anakin in the Return of the Jedi. So maybe that's why they really consulted with George Lucas. Kathleen Kennedy said it was always the plan in the beginning to have Palpatine come back. It may be true. I know a lot of people don't actually believe that, but I remember before The Force Awakens, there was a rumor out there that Palpatine was the true villain behind this sequel trilogy. And that seems to be coming to fruition right now. So guys, let me know what you think about this, The Rise of Skywalker. What is your interpretation on this title? Let me know what you think about all this in the comments. If you're new here to the channel, please Hit subscribe to catch future videos from me, and we will catch you on the next video. John Matrixx, out.